really? Wow. The old slippery slide till you die. Lord, I haven't driven this track in forever. If anybody's actually watching this for some dumb reason, I'm just testing out 720 streaming, see how it does my connection here. You can probably see the L bar in the top right corner there bouncing around. As long as I'm not blinking and stuff, it should be fine. So last week in this short season on iRacing, trying to get a race in and maybe regain some of the iRating I lost in the first week at Daytona when I was the highest rated car in the class. And with 7 minutes to go in the race, some guy started to spin, slammed on his brakes, came to a complete stop in the middle of the track right in front of me, and I nailed him and the car was dead. And instead of finishing in second out of 6 guys, I finished in 6th and lost a shitload of iRating. So I'm still trying to claw back. I think the next race I lost 1 where I finished, and then the race after that I gained 1 back. And then the last race I actually had good fortunes and gained 40 or so back. I can't quite remember. But one time, my iRating was 2,500. I haven't stayed like that for like a week. Highest it's ever been. After that Daytona race, it was down below 2,000. And I like to keep it above 2,000. That's a shitty corner. Keep it above 2,000. This is my own personal goal. I'm not that great at this game, but I do have fun. Okay, well, good lord. Practicing. There's a race in 17 minutes or so. I might jump in if it gets enough people.
Slow car ahead.
There's a DP parked on the side of the track for some reason. This thing, you know what? Bump traction control up 1 click. Here's the first laps I've run on this track in a number of months. I don't think I raced here in the last season. It's one of the best tracks in North America, probably after Sebring and Road Atlanta. It's Road America in Wisconsin, if you have no clue. also, I believe, the longest circuit that LMS or Grand Am or Tusk runs on at a little over 4 miles. But it's very fast, so your lap times are close to Sebring, which is about half a mile shorter, I believe. I'm just trying to remember this off the top of my head. It may be more than that. It's a very fast circuit, and in most places it's wide, nice and wide, so it's easy to pass when the faster cars come through. In iRacing, in this series, we have at the top of the field, it's the 2010 Honda LMP2 car. Now that car is an LMP2, but in 2011, regs changed, and 2010 LMP2 is about as fast as current P1 cars. Current P1 cars may be a little bit faster now, but you know, they used to be. They didn't used to be. Second is the, I guess, second generation DP from 2008. It was a Pontiac, ugly as sin DP. I know my opinion is that all the Daytona prototypes are uglier than hell and can't stand them. But yeah, back in 2008, the Pontiac ones had that fake Pontiac grill, and it makes them look extra ugly. Third class is this car, the Doran 2010 Ford GT that Robertson Racing campaigned in ALMS and went to Le Mans with it. Finished third in GTE AM. It's a very temperamental car, and it was pretty much made in a shed. So, you know, you can kind of tell. This car came out in 2011. It drove like absolute crap, and it's taken 3 years for this car to be something that people enjoy to drive. But unfortunately, in those previous 3 years, it lost a lot of participation because it was so hard to drive. Since it came out, it's pretty much the only car I've driven with any regularity. GTE is my favorite racing class out there in Le Mans. The last class is the Frankenstein roof, which has been cobbled together to resemble a Porsche Cup car. I guess you could call it ALMS GTC speed. And most people have, that have painted their roofs up have, painted them like Porsches. Someone, Matthew Nethercoat, I believe, made a whole graphic set so you could turn it into whatever you wanted. God, I'm just missing apexes everywhere. Yeah, this series had the Honda P2 car, this Ford GT I'm driving, and the 2008 Corvette GT1 car. But iRacing had that series, and they had a Grand Am type series with that DP and the roof, and they combined the two this season. Or I'm sorry, last season, I think it was. And the Corvette has its own series now. Some people are very happy about that, because the Corvette and the DP are pretty similar in times. It's pretty funny that, I've always found it funny that GT1 cars were as fast as the DP was, and the DP was supposed to be the top class in Grand Am. So, iRacing has signed a new Tusk spec Corvette DP, but with those things being mercifully killed at the end of 2016, it's unknown if we'll actually ever see it, because there's so much stuff in front of it. iRacing also, a long time ago, signed the 2010 BMW M3 GT2 car, which is GTE, and it hasn't been built. The only car we've seen from the BMW partnership is the GT3 car, which is an amazing race car. The iRacing at the time, when they signed the BMW contract, it was for the GT3 Z4, the M3 GT2 car, and a British touring car spec BMW. The problem was BMW went to the NG next generation touring car chassis that BTCC had, their new regulations, and so iRacing didn't have a car to scan. So that's never been done. It's been, I don't know, 2 years maybe. We're hoping to see a BMW British touring car along with the Honda British touring car. The problem is, since they signed the Honda contract, it seems like Honda has changed the car every season that they've been running in British touring car, and iRacing doesn't really want to have a dead car when it comes out in the game. It's happened a few times, like with the Sport GT, I believe when it came out in 2011, the last race it ever ran was Petit Le Mans 2011, and it has never raced in the professional race. It does historics. What else can I talk about? Hell, and obviously if the BMW M3 GT2 car would come out, it would be dead because it doesn't race anymore. It's been replaced by the GT3 derived Z4 GTE variant that Rahal, Lanigan, Letterman, whatever, races in Tudor United Sports Car Series, but that's going to go away probably at the end of this year for I believe it's the M4, I could be wrong. I can't remember. It might be another one. It might be an M3, but I don't think so because that's four doors. An M6, I think. Because I believe the M4 is only for DTM. That's what BMW wants to do, so we might see an M6 GTE car. I know that's what the next GT3 car will be from BMW, but right now they're running a Z4 that, the rumor has it, when they built the car out, they agreed that they would never go to Le Mans since it does not meet GTE specifications. They just built it for ALMS, and Tudor, obviously accepted it as well because it's IMSA, even if IMSA is different now. Also, as I was talking about the Corvette GT1 earlier, iRacing happily signed a contract with Aston Martin for 4 vehicles. We know 2 of them. One is the Aston V12 powered GT3 car, and the other is the same vintage GT1 car. When GT1 went out, it was pretty much Aston and Martin against Corvette, and so we got the Aston Martin GT1 car, which is an amazing vehicle as well. The other 2 cars that we may get, we're not real sure, but odds are it'll be the GTE car and the GT4 car. Now that GT4 car can run in a number of series in the real world. It can also run with cars that we have in iRacing. iRacing has a Pirelli World Challenge spec series with the old outgoing Cadillac CTS-V car and Kia's front-wheel drive GTS car, and that GTS class also accepts GT4 cars, so that'll be cool. Also, we could run that car in the Continental Challenge series because it runs in that series as well, just without the wing. So iRacing could conceivably have both of those variants, which would make it cool. I think the car runs like that in the Nürburgring VLN series. It probably runs in both specifications, so that you could take a Toyota Camry and put a wing on it, and then let you run it at the VLN. So that'll be super awesome. I can't wait for those Astons to come out. If we get the GTE car, I probably won't ever drive this thing again, or anything else. Maybe the GT4 car. I'm a fan of driving the slower class and the multi-class series. You know, I tend to like GT cars. That's why I don't really drive the Honda. It's just very benign to me. The DP is a car I can't stand. And I've driven it, maybe I bought the car, you know, when I got iRacing 2010. I think I might have driven it 3 times. It's just not a car I like. It just drives really strangely anyway. I haven't driven it in a while, but I don't really want to give it a chance anymore. Oop, a little squirrely. Besides that, iRacing has several tracks coming soon. The next one, I believe, is Monza on the roadside, and the rumor is that they have scanned the oval as well, and there's a slight chance that we may get something that it doesn't exist anymore, but the combined layout with the oval and road course that they used to run. Hell, I think it was like 71 was the last time they ran that configuration in real life, and nowadays you can't actually get off the oval onto the race circuit because they've torn down the last part of the banking. After Monza you have Imola, I believe, and of course iRacing is working on the Nürburgring. They have signed that, which was probably about the best news I've ever heard, and hopefully that'll be here in time for the Nürburgring 1,000 kilometers, which is in July, I think. And they have signed the Formula 1 circuit and the Nordschleife, which is great. And they said that they'll release the tracks separately. And what you can do is you'll buy both, and you can, if you have both of them, a combined, you know, VLN Nürburgring 24 variant will be available. So that'll be fun, especially since we have driver swaps and 24-hour races now. I can't wait for that. The only thing iRacing needs to do, and this is coming, but there's no timetable, is, you know, daylight changes, and even farther down the pipeline is weather, which I can't wait for. I think I'd probably pee my pants if I was playing iRacing and I was driving along and it started to rain, especially at a track like the Nürburgring when you're on slicks and it starts to rain. I know a lot of us hope that they provide us with a large number of grid stalls, because, you know, in the real Nürburgring 24 hours and in VLN they have upwards of 200 cars starting. In fact, I know it was like 220 a few years ago. I think this year it was 180, which is still a very large amount. Still, it's not... you think that's a large number, and it is, but the Nürburgring being more than 13 miles long, FIA does a calculation based on race length, track width, and track distance, track length, I guess, and says this is as many cars as you can put on track. Well, you know, 200 cars over 13 miles is about the same as, well, 60, I guess, over 4 or over 3 miles. Like at Daytona, it'd be about the same as what, 50 or so. So that's not a big deal. That's a lot of cars, but the track's so, you know, so long that it doesn't really matter. Shit, what time is it? I've been blathering. No, I've got 2 minutes. Let's see if anybody's signed up for this race. Alright, well, if anybody's actually watched this was just a test and me blabbering along as I test out 720p streaming from Shadowplay directly at Twitch. Thanks for watching if you did, and I probably will stream the race coming up here at 11:45 if it gets enough people. If not, at 1:45 Eastern time, I'll run that race and probably stream it too, and you can watch me drive like an idiot, because I'm not very good. Thank you. Bye-bye.